Thanks for joining me here on the Ozzstar Cars channel. I'm Glenn, and today's fun project, we have a 2015 Hyundai Sonata here, and the backup camera has an issue. So you put the car in reverse and the camera fires up, does what it's supposed to on the screen, but it's very hazy and blurry, and I want to take you in for a closer look, so let's go check it out. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm going to fire up the backup camera. I'm just going to put the car in reverse. So step on the brake. So you can see, hopefully you can see the issue. The only clear area is right here. This is all hazed up and sort of cloudy or grainy. And I'll take you back to the camera now that's on the trunk, and we can see what's going on. Alright, so let's go in for a closer look-see here. So our rear view camera is mounted right back here, and hopefully you can pick this up on camera. This lens is completely, I don't know, I guess we call it corroded, shattered. It's just distorted. So let me get the new one and I'll show you what it looks like. Now this is the whole unit here. So basically it's the camera. You've got the lock for your key for trunk release is right here, and then under here is a pull handle switch. So when you pull this, it's an electronic release on the latch. So I've got my new OEM part right here. There's the camera lens. You can see how clear it is. That's how it should look. Everything matches up to the original on the car. This is the hole for the key, the manual key. It comes pre-wired here, and there's only one connection for the harness. Right here is a little clip. You just push this down when you want to release from the harness when it's in the car. I'll show you that in just a second. But first, let me talk a little bit about how we get to this and the easiest way to take this off. Basically, this is held in with friction with these clips right here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, there's one back here, 5, and one on the side, 6. So these clips kind of are easy to go in. They're kind of like a bee stinger. They go in real easy, but they don't want to come out. And what you have to do is, and it'll be very difficult for me to film, so I'm going to show you right here, is when this is in the car, the sheet metal is around here, and you got to push in on these clips. Very hard access, but let me see if I can give you some tips and tricks. All right, so to gain access to that camera, which is right up in here, the easiest way is to just take off this trunk cover. So it's held in with, I think it's like 10 of these pins. I got some out already. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pins, okay? And these pins right here, what you want to do is just grab yourself one of these pry tools. This is a plastic one. I've got a metal one. Okay, and I'll link these down below if you need one. They're relatively inexpensive. And what you do is with these, they have a Phillips screw in the center. And what you do is just turn that screw out, get your tool behind there, right, pry tool. And once you get the screw out a certain distance, these usually just pop right out. Let me show you this up close. All right, so there's your screw. Once you get the screw out, the whole clip pin, it's a pin, comes right out. And when you put them back, you just kind of put them in through the hole and then take your push pin. You don't have to thread it in. You just push it with your thumb, slips right in. So I've got most of these out and loose already. Let me get this one. And the reason we need to do this is to gain access up here. Now, I already took the 2 screws. This is your pull handle. You may have one of these. This is just so when you can manually, pull the trunk up or close it. So there's 2 screws. What you do is pop this little cover open, and you'll see the 2 screws right up here, and that's that. Now these rubber bushings or bumpers stay. Let me get this one out down here. We can get going on it. That's good. And then the whole cover will just slip right up or out, and you're set. Okay, now it's a little tricky to film, but our camera is back up under here. So let me get the camera set up and we'll get to that step. So here's that harness I was telling you about, and you push down on this tab and then you pull out on that, okay? So that'll release that. That's the only one you got to worry about. Now if you follow those wires up, by the way, this thing's orange, right here is the back of our camera switch combo. So here's one of those tabs right here. I'm going to point to it with a screwdriver. And what you can do to the ones that you can see, now mind you, you have this latch in the way, this bracket. for your trunk latch, that's the lock, you won't be able to push those back, but you can get like this one here, and then there's one on this side back in there. You'll have to push it in with a screwdriver, try to release as many as you can. Now the thing is, on the outside here, what you want to do, and I can do it for you guys, but it doesn't always work. I've done a few of these. You put tape, painter's tape around here, and that'll help protect it. And then what you can do, let me get this pry tool. What you can do is get your pry tool, get behind here, and start prying. Okay, you're gonna have to put pressure on it. So it's gonna be give and take, but you wanna tape up all your painted surfaces. You don't wanna damage any of this, okay? And then once you get those clips free, I kind of work them outside, put a little pressure on here, and then kind of take that screwdriver and push those clips in from inside, and then release this, at least, you know, just get the whole thing out. So what I'm going to do is put you on the tripod now and just finish prying this out, and we'll get to the next step. All right, so I live by the words that I preach. Let me put a piece of painter's tape on here, and just to protect the paint. I don't like scratches, so this is the best way to do it. If you think you need a couple layers of tape, then do that, but one's usually good. So now what I can do is just get in here. I've already started prying on this, and I'm reaching inside. You can't see, my right hand is inside, pushing on those pins, and I've already pushed on those tabs. There you go. You heard it click, clip. There we go, popped out. Okay, and then what you do is just wiggle this thing. You may have to reach in. There you go, I got the harness through. Okay, and then that's it. So this is the old junk, and let's put in the new good stuff. All right, some words of wisdom when you're replacing this stuff, especially these backup cameras. I've done several Hyundais, and it seems like even a couple of years and they change whatever, you have to get a different part. So make sure you get the right part. I think this one is 2014 to 16, something like that. Is, you know, the Sonatas may all look alike for many years, but they'll change this stuff up, and I can't guarantee if they'll work or not if you don't get the right part. And that usually is listed over here on your connector, so you can see, hopefully, that I'll list it for this particular car. But anyway, the old looks exactly like the new, so that's good. We're a good start there. Connector looks the same, and it's simple. It's much easier to put this in than it is to take it out. I don't know if that sounded right or not, but here we go. So basically, you got your clips here. We're going to feed the harness in. It's that simple. Kind of wiggle it through, and then when you press it in, it's going to snap in. So it's that simple. Okay, you kind of work it in. There we go. You'll hear it clip in. Once it's locked in, it sits flush, it sits flat, and you're all set. You can take your tape off, and then we'll go inside and hook that connector up, and then we'll test everything before we put everything back together. So I know you guys like hearing stuff click, so let's just plug this in, okay? There we go, snap that, and then we can get our cover, which is over here. Make sure you get your light. I have a magnetic light. That's a tongue twister there. Zoom you out, which I had in here, which is very helpful. So you basically put that up in here, and I can fold it. I did a review on this. This is that Braun light, I think it's called. Yeah, is it Braun? Yeah, I did a review on this. I'll leave it in the description if you want to know more about it. But it's really nice because you can bend that light to any direction you want and just get up there and see what you're doing. So enough of that. Let's get this on here. Slip this on. This comes on and off really easy, and there's no trick to it. Just make sure you get, let me show you here. Let me get these in and I'll show you guys. 1 second. Okay. Fighting me there for a second. So right here, you can see it on this one. I had to slip it in behind first, okay? Geez, that didn't sound right either. So just do that, and then over these mounts. Now you take your clips, your pins, real simple. Like I said, just make sure the screw's out, push it in here. Of course, my hand's in the way, and then all you gotta do is this. Done, okay? Go all around, get all those in, and get to the next step. We go all out on the Ozzstar Cars channel, so I'm just gonna take these screws, and I'm sure you guys know how to do that, but right here, If you don't have a fancy impact, you can just use a regular Phillips screwdriver. And just go ahead and put those in up there. So then what you do is you snap this closed. That's it. And when you need to take it out, when you're removing it, just get your plastic pry tool, get it right in here, and you just pop it out this way. And it just pops right open and you can get to it, okay? So that's it. You know that part. Next step is basically go in the car and, oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. Next step would be to just go into the car and we'll test it out. So everything looks good, nice and flush. That's it. All right, let's put the ignition on, put her in reverse, and now we should have a nice clear screen. That's just the audio warning back there because the tripod's in. That's annoying. Okay, let's wrap this one up. I got to get on to the next one. Anyhow, this repair is not that difficult. This lighting might be a little crazy here. I got some lighting going. Hopefully it's not too scary. I know Halloween is coming up, but it's not that challenging. Once you get the old one out, you're going to have to work those clips with pressure from the inside and the outside. Once it pops out, I guarantee you the new one goes in a lot smoother and a lot easier. So hopefully that'll take care of your problem. Now, these cameras are not cheap at all. If you have a Hyundai with the dreaded blue screen, moisture may be getting in there, and I have a video on how to repair that. It was on a Santa Fe. I will leave a link to that video in the description down below. These cameras here can be, you know, $200, $150, $250, $300 even. I've seen them. So you want to make sure the camera is actually the problem before you replace it. So if you get a chance, check me out on Instagram. If you have that, it's Ozzstar1. Facebook is Ozzstar. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And check out some of my other repair videos right here on YouTube. Take it easy.